This Welsh side has made huge strides over the course of the last 2 weekends. Can they now produce the perfect finish?
Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir.
Santa Fe rolls out the red carpet, and here are the Pumas, and they show just one alteration to the 23. The pack is as it was a week ago in San Juan. Thomas Lavanini, Guido Petti, a huge second row. Marcos Crema, well, he's got his hands full today. He's up against two open side flankers. Nicolas Sanchez starts at 10 despite being replaced after just 40 minutes last week. It's the same centre pairing, and so too in the back three. Emiliano Buffelli will look to get his hands on the ball because he can cause real problems. The only alteration coming there at 9 with Martin Landaco replacing the man who started last week, Gonzalo Bertrano. Thomas Francis, Ryan Elias there. They weren't involved a week ago. Corey Hill is the captain again. Adam Beard, he really impressed. There are the two open sides. James Davis at 7, Ellis Jenkins at 6. Alid Davis comes in for Gareth Davis at scrum half. Owen Watkin, well, he's in because of injury. And then looking at the back three, it is as it was a week ago. George North, he was among the try scorers. Hallam Amos, well, he was something of a magician. Jaco Paper, the attorney from Bloemfontein, and that's already been a significant stop off in the on the World Rugby map over the course of the last few hours with that second test victory for South Africa against England. So we're all set to go. The Wales head coach Warren Gatland said this week, the bigger picture is more important than merely throwing everything you've got at them to secure the win. Of course, what he's referring to is the fact that it's still a partially experimental Welsh side. There are a number of key players left at home, but as far as Warren Gatland is concerned, this is all part of the journey to Japan and next year at the World Cup. But how much it would mean for Wales to get a series victory here. It would be just their second. Well, that low early winter sun casting long shadows. Middle of the afternoon or late on in the afternoon in Santa Fe. There's Rhys Patchell. As his captain Corey Hill. Rob Evans, such an influential member of this Wales squad. A touch for Alid Davis there. Well, very quick defence there from Argentina. Perhaps just a little bit too quick.
Not realistic. I need to lose batting the ball.
Well, you may well have heard there from Jaco Paper, unrealistic, deliberate knockdown. There in the background, Adam Beard, who impressed so many last week. The little bit of physicality that the 22-year-old Osprey adds here to Wales, so important when you consider that he's up against Thomas Lavanini, who's a real beast there, wearing 5 today, and Guido Petty, not quite as physical perhaps as Lavanini, but Petty very, very mobile indeed. And there you can see just the hand coming in, the deliberate knockdown.
9, 2 meters.
Just confirmation of the call there for Wales. Ryan Elias starting here. Elias, a try scorer, the winning try scorer in Washington 2 weeks ago. When they beat South Africa, it would be quite a summer for the men in red if they can record that win against. And look, there's an Argentinian player just getting some treatment. It looks a bit like Lavanini, in fact. He's clearly taken a bad knock to the head. There's Alan Davis. Can he make something happen here? Just getting tied in as well as the referee. So it's an eventful opening 2.5 minutes.
Hey, ball hit me. Yeah, that's right. I was in the middle, this one.
You may well have heard the Jaco Paper saying the ball hit me. Well, some concern, I think, for Thomas Lavanini. We might see him in a couple of moments' time. That's Jaco Paper getting himself caught up.
Let's go.
Mathieu Renal, who's running one of the lines today, he'll know just how serious it can be for a referee getting himself caught in an accidental clash. Renal spent more than a year out of the sport when he picked up it was an appalling injury, a broken leg and a dislocated ankle and a broken collarbone. That was in a top 14 rugby match about 3 years ago now. Mathieu Renal did very well to return to professional rugby after that one. Good Paper there, just having to be quite balletic to avoid himself getting caught into a collision with some rather bigger men. Paper, who during his brief rugby career, you may not be surprised, played at scrum half. So here is another scrum half, Alan Davis, earning his 11th cap for Wales today. The put in, it's Moriarty, having his 3rd start on the tour at 8 and bursting through. Josh Adams held up, that was Nicolas Sanchez who made the tackle. The danger not cleared though by the Argentinians. There goes Rob Evans, steaming on, the drive is up to the line, they've got the ball, now can they get it down? Well, the Argentinian defence is a little bit desperate, but they've done a job now. And they get the put in. Well, that was very timely indeed from the Pumas.
13, come here. Let's get something clear. Here is the captain, and but you ran up to me and appealed for the decision. Back you go.
Scott Williams just getting a talking to. As far as Jaco Paper is concerned, he's very happy to hear from the captain, that's Corey Hill. Not from the man who's earning his 57th cap for his country today, Scott Williams. No Hadley Parks, he's not at 12. Picked up an injury last week and had surgery on a finger during the week. So he will be missed. But this does present an opportunity to Owen Watkin, earning his 6th cap today. So this Pumas pack, respected and revered. Thomas Francis on the tight head side, the Exeter chief. Up against their Santiago Garcia Vota. There's the pickup at the base from Ortega Desio. Now, can they get their exit right? Here's Landajo, the only alteration, promoted from the bench. Daniel Hurcada, the head coach for Argentina, opting for perhaps the greater control that will be provided by the very experienced scrum half. And Dajo, the most experienced test player. Oh, and a little pop ball there to Watkin. There's Davis into position. Elias calling for it. Very powerful in the loose. is the Scarlets hooker. If not the Scarlets #1, Ken Owens, remember, the man who actually made his Test debut at the 2011 World Cup in New Plymouth against Namibia. There it is for Wales. Here's Elias again.
Rock.
Patchell. Big hit there in midfield. Wales still have it though. It's Pablo Matera with that tackle. There's Davis again onto Watkin.
Advantage offside.
Argentina have crept forward. Referee playing an advantage here, offside. Patchell, the long ball, knows it's a bit of a shot to nothing. Great hands from Alan Amos. We saw that last week, and look at him, James Davis, skipping through the tackle, still playing an advantage here to Wales. Here's Thomas Francis, doesn't score too many tries. What a try it would be today if he can do that, but the referee's seen enough. We're going to come back for the penalty. Argentina having come offside.
Numbers. Yeah. Whole back line, offside.
Well, that was interesting. Jaco Paper saying it was the entire back line were in an offside position. And Rhys Patchell calling for the kicking tee.
Very good timing. Right there.
It has been a super start from the men in red. There's the hit on Patchell from Pablo Matera. This Wales side looking for their 6th straight Test win today. A sequence which started midway through the Six Nations. Good way to start for Rhys Patchell. Wales lead by 3 points to 0. We've been playing a little more than 8 minutes. Well, that was well taken by Watkin. A real turn of foot as well. We saw that on the occasion of his first Test start against Italy during the Six Nations, when he burst through the midfield. There have been comparisons drawn between Owen Watkin and Jamie Roberts. All too easily done, I suppose, but the big powerful ball carriers. But I might suggest that Owen Watkin is probably a bit quicker. Loose pass there from George North. It was intended for Hallam Amos. Hallam Amos would have needed to be about 6'8" to grab that.
Gap, please. Hold. 6. 7.
Heavy ball palm back, scooped up there by Lavanini. Good to see that Lavanini's fully restored. There's the carry from Matera. There's Crevi again. They two are the most experienced players in this Argentina team. Crevi, who really has been round the block, had a successful stint playing in France with Montpellier. Also had a brief time at Worcester in the Premiership. Sanchez. That's a tester there for Adams. Oh, but then there was a hand in from Buffelli, and that was a knock-on.
No, that's forward.
He will have been wiser there to give Adams a chance of taking that. Never really had any sort of opportunity of grabbing that out of the sky, Emiliano Buffelli.
Well then.
As you could see, I think that Adams was getting himself caught in a slightly awkward position.
Okay, well then.
Instead, Buffelli just hands possession to Wales, so they have the scrum 5 metres out from their try line. Argentina haven't beaten Wales since 2012. That was in Cardiff.
Set!
Early engagement coming from Argentina.
No ball. It's too quickly.
Rather mistimed.
It's too quickly.
Just how easily there of Argentina let Wales off the hook. That was well taken by the left wing. Ramiro Mojano. Up in the air there from Buffelli. Oh, it's well taken by Mojano. Being held up by Josh Adams, showing his strength.
Okay, ball available.
There it is for Landajo, onto Sanchez, and then it's spilt. And that was a bit clumsy from Lavanini, so we'll come back for the knock-on. Yes, Thomas Lavanini just slapping the palm of his hand. There he is.
I understand what you say, but he can go down and then feed. He doesn't have to feed it immediately. Just reasonable.
Thomas Lavanini approaching half a century of caps. Very good chance he'll reach that landmark at the age of 25. He's certainly one of the stars of this Pumas team.
Once you're down there, just reasonable time to feed. Don't wait.
Seconds in. Stay tight, Reed. Stay tight. Stay low, core. Happy? Stay with James.
Crouch!
There were very high expectations of Argentina last week.
Sit!
They are essentially a super rugby franchise wearing the Pumas jersey with Jaguares being in the Argentinian super rugby team, and that's well picked up by Sanchez. Little stab through, there weren't too many options. Back goes Hallam Amos. Oh, and then just a little foot in touch coming from Ortego Desio. Or perhaps I should say Pablo Matera it was.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Good footballing skills there from Sanchez, just staying off the touchline. There's Watkin, look at the power. Sanchez ricocheting off him. Davis. Josh Adams in pursuit. Well, had he come to ground, there's an appeal from Sanchez, and I think we've got a penalty. Well, it is indeed a penalty. It's a penalty against the Pumas.
On the floor.
You can hear the jeers, and certainly the home crowd seem to believe that the Argentinian player was tackled before he'd come back to ground. It was a very close thing. So Patchell successful with his first strike at goal. And that's another sweet connection. 2 out of 2 to the Scarlets fly half. Wales leading by 6 points to 0. There's Watkin. Patcher with the long clearance. Caught by Nicola Sanchez. Looking to give Bautista Delgui a run. He earned just his second cap last week. Really has been impressing in Super Rugby. Lavanini with the pass on there to his second row partner, Petty.
Up. First action is down on your elbows, you didn't support, then back on the ball. Keep tight.
It's James Davis just being told that He got his elbows on the ground over the ball. Oh dear. That was a very poor connection indeed. The sort of unforced error that Argentina know they can ill afford. Cost them about 50 metres. There's Landajo.
Release!
James Davis out of the block so quickly there on the fringes. Good positioning from Hallam Amos. Really has got all the skills as Hallam Amos. Couldn't find a way through there, but it will be a line out and an Argentina ball.
Hold the gap there. Yep, slow down. Numbers. Full. You want to adjust?
And Gatland's inclusion of the two open side specialists. I'm talking about James Davis, who is playing on the open side, and Ellis Jenkins. Ball just going loose. That went forward. Yeah, just talking about those changes or selections that have been made in the Wales back row. It's an interesting one, because you know, ask yourself, is it tactical, or is it merely that they were both so good in the matches they have started that Warren Gatland couldn't separate them and maybe felt compelled to start both?
There
Be interesting to see if it is a combination which really works here.
Come forward.
Ellis Jenkins packing down on the
There we go.
blindside flank. He has played there for his club, the Cardiff Blues. There he is, wearing 6 with the white headband. It was an outstanding form for the Blues towards the end of their season, winning that European Challenge Cup. The second time they'd won the secondary European competition in about 8 or 9 years. There's Davis, a little bit scrappy that ball. There's Watkin, little prod through, good positioning from the fullback Buffelli. The Wales successfully keeping the pressure on the Pumas.
820 personas que hoy están aquí alentando a los Pumas.
Watkin onto Patchell. Oh, and then there was maybe a hint of a chance for Bautista Delghi. Wales living a little bit dangerously. It was only, I think, because it was such a loose pass there from Wales that Delghi was denied. There's Watkin, there's the pass from Patchell. It's Scott Williams. It was meant for Hallam Amos, who was coming in that gap inside George North.
No one's... Right, it's fine. It's just coming from everybody, it's fine, okay. A little bit forward. Okay. You need that punch on set. Keep the gap.
Approaching the end of the opening quarter in Santa Fe. It's Argentina 0, Wales 6. All those points coming off the kicking tee. Reece Patchell the scorer, 2 out of 2. Penalty going against Argentina. Guilty of wielding the scrum.
Around the corner. On the tight head side, not going forward.
The guilty party, Noel Tataz Chaparro on the tie head side.
Shot.
Reece Patchell, that gap between the posts must feel as if it's getting ever wider.
Yeah, I couldn't see the tight head going forward, hence. No.
Well, just pushing that one across the face. His first miss, his first
Open here.
poor strike. Reece
I know.
Patchell, score remains 6 points to 0.
All behind.
Sanchez there with the restart. Josh Adams took that well, the Worcester Warrior. That's the captain, Corey Hill. According to the head coach, Warren Gatland, he's the most improved player in this world squad. Here's Amos. On to George North.
All out play.
Patchell. Here's Elias. Scored the winning try against South Africa in Washington. Patchell again. Well, that was meant for someone, but whoever they were, they weren't there. Here goes Adams. Look at Adams. He can really canter. What a step from Josh Adams. His first test try. Called up a fortnight ago to the squad as a replacement for Steph Evans. Straight into the starting lineup for the first test.
There was players running into each other. I just want to clear that there's no obstruction.
Well, Jaco Paper
So we're looking at possible
does
obstruction,
want to
just
have
checking.
this checked
Back on the
by his
10-metre line
television
where
match
the number
official
14 gets
Marius
through the
Jonker.
gap. Thank you.
Well, Josh Adams was scoring tries for fun for Worcester during the Aviva Premiership
It
season.
looked like the player live, like he held his line, but there was contact.
You see the players just looking at the big screen here. Well, let's see if there is any obstruction, any blocking. Well, I guess the only thing you're looking at there is Thomas Francis. The old arms have come out from Ortego Desio, but it looks pretty innocuous. Now let's see if Thomas Francis does anything at all. There he is. Just trying to get out of the way.
From that.
There's nothing there, is there? What a step there from Josh Adams.
Okay, Jaco.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the angles that we have.
Yeah, what I see is that the player doesn't clearly change his line. The players through the gap, so I award a try.
Correct, I agree. We award the try.
So Jaco Paper awards the try, and Wales into double figures. They really have picked up from where they left off a week ago. It's hugely disappointing for Argentina. How will Daniel Hurcada address this? And they've still got 17 minutes or so to go until half-time. So 3 out of 4. Reece Patchell. Look at Adams here. Tatas Sheparo left groping at thin air.
Play on.
Here's Krevi. Will need to lead from the front here if there is to be any sort of comeback.
Use it once.
Wales flew the flag for the Northern Hemisphere alone last weekend after defeats for Ireland and
Anything there? Nothing.
England and France
Nothing,
in
Morris.
Tier 1 battles.
Right, let's go. All in.
Well, Ireland winners today in Australia,
You got the penalty. We have to go forward on both sides, not just the one side.
but Wales,
Okay?
if they can come away with a win here, I think Warren Gatland,
Timing.
well,
Wait for the ball.
he'll give it a 10 out of 10 scoring. He will certainly want to keep perspective in Wales rugby because he knows the bigger picture is all about the World Cup next year, but he's learned a lot about players here.
Set.
And I think he now knows in his squad He's got greater depth than maybe he thought he had just 3 weeks or so ago. Here goes Moriarty, his third start on the tour. There's the try scorer, Adams. There's the captain, Corey Hill.
Leave it now.
The two tall co-captains starting for Wales today. Ellis Jenkins is the other. He led the side in the win against South Africa in Washington. Here's Landajo. Sanchez. That was Mojano. That's a little bit better. That's Guido Petty, earning his 35th cap today, still only 24.
Release!
Garcia Botta with that particular carry. Bit of space here for Delgi. Now where's the kick? They're just testing there for Patchell, and Delgi's caught him. And this is dangerous for Wales.
Lost feet, all.
The sky blue and white hoop jerseys swarming. Well, the home crowd have found a little bit of enthusiasm. Well, it was a chip ahead there from Bautista Delgi, who created it. We're getting driven back there was James Davis. He's inside his own in-goal area. Aled Davis pumps it away. And under that sort of pressure, he did rather well. Well, at last, this crowd have started to discover their voices.
Numbers. 6.
This is better from Argentina. They badly need to get the next score.
Don't move.
It's Krevy who's got it. Landajo issuing the signals, but it's still moving forward.
Use it or lose it.
And Argentina have been urged to use it. There's Lavanini, all 6'7" of him.
Varney's too slow.
Penalty advantage now being played to Argentina. They're going on the short side. Quick hands out there to Pablo Matera. Referee still playing that advantage, although not now.
I'm not over you.
Wales slow to get away from the tackle area. Now what will they do? Pop it into the corner. We're going to see the catch and drive from the line out. It's going to be an arm wrestle.
Let's go. Six.
So Krevy, the captain, has confirmed the call. It was to Lavanini, but it slipped. And Wales have pounced, and that looked like Elias. Well, the lack of precision there in the red zone. And now Argentina, well, they've got frustrated. Matera has come offside.
Offside ball.
And not for the first time. Argentina have blown it.
Captain.
Well, you can see that, the 5th penalty conceded by the Pumas. Well, there's Lavanini, and it's Matera who lets the ball slip.
No. We got to get you to the hooker, otherwise they can't compete. Yep.
So it's a shortened line.
More.
It's well worked by Wales, the catch in the line out from the captain. Well, shoveled back there by Aled Davis. There's Moriarty. Moriarty, who hasn't had a very busy season at Gloucester, on his way back to Wales. He'll be playing for the Dragons just over the bridge in Newport next season. That's Bernard Jackman's team.
Use it!
Davis being urged to use it by Jakub Pepa. Taken under pressure there by Delgi.
Hold.
Landajo. Sanchez. The carry from Petty.
No more.
Petty, one of those players who played for Argentina in the World Cup in 2015. De La Fuente. Beat it on. Here goes Matias Orlando, just drifting across field. Crema. It's a bit of go forward for the Pumas. Sanchez. A sympathetic pass to Krevi on its been stripped. There's Watkin. And again it's Adams. There's that step. Well, Nance didn't really need that pass from Josh Adams that time.
When you play the ball, you can tackle him.
But the work of Wales in defence, turning attack into defence so swiftly. Well, here it is from Sanchez. And there you can see it's the two centres combining. Scott Williams ripping the ball away.
If they're strong, the team I will say it. You see it now? Okay, so you had 1 foot on the ground when you tackle, and when you juggle the ball, they can tackle you.
They make it like this.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'll look first. I'll look if I can see it.
Well, a decent crowd here at the Estadio Brigadier Lopez. Bit of space here for Moriarty. Argentina very slow to close that down. All of a sudden they're only 5 metres out and they got a penalty advantage. So at least 3 points coming here for Wales. There's Evans. They're 2 metres out of Wales. Can they produce quick ball? It's there for Alex Davis. Argentina doing all they can legally to slow it down, but there's still a penalty advantage here. Look at Ellis Jenkins. Here's Patchell. Little poke over the top. Oh, it's brilliant. The touchdown from Owen Watkin. And a second Wales try.
In front of kick.
Oh, well, they've just decided that Owen Watkin was ahead of the kicker.
He's in front of the kick. We're going back. Offside penalty.
So, well, what are they going to do? Have they got a hunger for the try line? Or will they take the 3 points? It's Test match rugby. We've been playing half an hour.
21.
You know what I think?
Sorry. Number 10
and
offside.
The captain agrees. Well, let's judge ourselves. Look at Watkin. You know what? There's not a lot in it.
What's this, sir? It's a try.
Well, I think
we've made a decision.
Andrew Brace is absolutely correct.
And he was in front, confirmed by Timmer.
And it was
already checked. He's in front of
a transgression by, what, less than a metre?
Yeah. Not the 12, the winger. Not the 12, the winger. But the winger was in front.
So here's Patchell. The formality of adding another 3 points. 16 points to nil, Wales lead. Plenty of airtime on the restart from Sanchez. Watkin it was. His role is to claim those restarts, but the referee deciding that it came forward off the hand of the Osprey. And another telling statistic, 7 handling errors from Argentina, just the one against Wales. Well, Gatland has certainly rung the changes over the course of this 3-match tour. After the victory against what was a weakened Springbok side in Washington, he made 8 changes. Then after last week's win in the first test in San Juan, 5 for this test match. 23-10 the score in San Juan a week ago.
Okay, bring it.
Last 5 minutes of this first half. Sanchez. Good defence there from Scott Williams. There's Lavanini onto his second row partner Petty.
Thanks.
And it's another error. This time the ball's gone forward. Well, 14 of the starting 15 for Argentina a week ago. Started the Jaguares last match in Super Rugby. The Jaguares having now won in all the countries in the Super Rugby season. They'd won 6 on the bounce, the most recent against the Sharks 3 weeks ago now. For this match, well, 13 of the starting 15
Bind. No, both teams done.
in this Pumas side were involved
Okay,
in that most recent
gap.
Super Rugby game.
Both teams clear gap.
Pablo Matera and Martin Landajo, the only two who
Understand?
didn't play in that result. And the Jaguares, there you can see Mario Ledesma,
Yes.
2 from the left. The
Come on.
iconic
Here's one
hooker,
more.
I don't think that
To
would
the
be
left.
overstating it. Man who is the coach of the
Outside him.
Jaguares these
Gap.
days, having spent much of his playing career
Space.
in France with Clermont Auvergne, and then
Second
spent time working with the Wallabies.
Crouch.
Now back at home.
Bind. Set. Stay straight, one.
So Alec Davis there with the put in. There's Amos onto the left foot. Good positioning from Buffelli. There's Delgi running across field. Look at the ground that James Davis covers. He got up to make that tackle. There's Sanchez. Navanini's got his hand up. There he is. Got Kremer on one side.
Leave it now, Seven. Leave it.
In that Argentinian pack.
Lost his feet.
There goes Matera. Well, the work in defence here from Wales, and that was Ellis Jenkins getting himself locked over the ball. Brilliant at the breakdown from Jenkins. It's another penalty. And nothing but frustration there for Daniel Hurkada. A 7th penalty conceded. Look here at the positioning. Look, Ellis Jenkins just hanging back there.
I just told you lost your feet before you actually got it. Leaning
There
on
goes
players.
Jenkins.
Your feet's on the ground, but your body's leaning on players. That's the only reason. Well responded. Yeah. He blocked the clean out. He blocked the clean out, yeah.
He's Bachelor 80% on the day so far. The conditions are absolutely perfect. Virtually no wind. And that's another pure connection. Wales up to 19. Only one team in it at the moment.
La gana ahora 19-0. Informó VS1.
Last 2 minutes of this first half. Thomas Francis picks up the ricochets. Buffelli. James Davis following up to make his umpteenth tackle. Kremer getting man and ball. Watkin it was.
Tackle release!
Watkin still just 21. He's the baby of the side. There's Ortega Desio romping through. Good tackle from Scott Williams getting back. That's the sort of momentum though that the Pumas need. And straight through goes Petty. Petty with the offload to Delgi. And Delgi's going to score at long last. Virtually on the stroke of half-time. In just his second test match, the 21-year-old gets his first test try. The break through the middle from Guido Petti. Marvellous anticipation from Delgi. Look at that from Petti, sticking his head down. Forward lean like a sprinter. Now there really is a sprinter. There's nothing George North could do about that.
Is there enough time for a restart?
Well, over the course of the last 2 or 3 seasons, it's been a pretty dark tunnel for Pumas rugby. There is now just a little chink of light. Well, Sanchez unable to make it a 7-point score. Well, Argentina, well, they've still got a big mountain to climb, but at least they've shown that they can break through this Wales defence. They do have something now to take them into the break, to give them that light on the stroke of half-time from Bautista Delgi. The young Argentina wing will have caught the attention of Wales.
Okay.
But it was certainly a first 40, which apart from that was thoroughly satisfactory. That's almost a master understatement as far as Warren Gatland is concerned. Well, he's what now? 5/6 of the way through his tour of the Southern Hemisphere is Warren Gatland. And all he needs now is another decent 40 minutes, and he would have thought Wales are going to come away with 3 wins out of 3. There's Scott Williams, his 57th cap to date. James Davis has been everywhere. And perhaps interesting to see Martin Landajo partnering up with Nicolas Sanchez for the second half here. Sanchez didn't emerge from the tunnel a week ago at the end of the half-time break. Well, he's starting the second half here.
Number 7.
Well,
Taking the defender out.
he may well have heard
He's
that.
taking him out.
Marcus Kremer
Can't change your line.
just dropping his shoulder.
Loud and clear, loud and
And
clear.
that off the field obstruction, costing Argentina a penalty, and who knows, maybe even 3 points here. Rhys Patchell fancies himself from about 54 metres. Were you looking there at Kremer? Yeah, look, it's Kremer on Moriarty. Moriarty certainly made as much of it as he possibly could have done, but I've got no reason to doubt it. The Estadio Brigadier Lopez, known as the Elephant's Graveyard, would you believe? That's a reputation or a moniker which stuck more than half a century ago when Pelé brought his famous Santos team from Brazil. And they were beaten here by the local team. It was a giant killing act. It wouldn't be a giant killing act here for Argentina to beat Wales. In fact, a long way from it. But it's going to be something of a turnaround, particularly when Rhys Patchell is slotting them like that, and he did that with a few metres to spare. He's only missed one today so far as Rhys Patchell. 22 points to 5. A lack of discipline there from Argentina, just gifting the Welsh another 3 points. Here's Alec Davis, here's James Davis. James Davis, his elder brother Jonathan, rather more revered, I suppose, as a Test rugby player. Well, not I suppose, he certainly is. A real star of the British and Irish Lions. Draw last year, drawn series in New Zealand. Here's Buffelli. Just a year to go to the World Cup, and Argentina, who for the last 3 or 4 World Cups have featured until the latter stages, well, from this sort of form. I thought they were beginning to find something in the shape of the Jaguares over the course of the last 2 or 3 months of Super Rugby with that string of 6 straight wins.
Turnovers made and everybody down.
But it certainly hasn't converted in the step up to Test Rugby.
Okay, we'll give him a second.
This back row for Wales is working an absolute treat. Look there at Rob Evans, holding the man up, and it was interesting this week to read the thoughts of Sam Warburton. He singled out Rob Evans this week as one of the players whose character, the sense of humour, the general positive attitude that Rob Evans has that helps get the best out of this team, and particularly shows that sort of character when things are maybe not going as well as they might be. Ellis Jenkins it is, just down on one knee, getting a bit of treatment.
If you're waiting for them to get comfortable, just don't
Wales looking for that, what would be their 6th straight Test victory here.
bring the ball down.
There's Warren Gatlin, familiar pose. Arms folded at the back. Rob Howley on this side. Sean Edwards, the architect of all things defence.
If you stay there, I can move him.
Is that right? Discipline your heads.
Nice and square. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Tyler Davis, who makes the move, not a particularly long distance move when he gets home from the Scarlets in Llanelli, the Ospreys in Swansea. That was Walker, in fact. There's George North. Haven't seen too much of him with the ball in hand today. Josh Adams, who's had the opportunities. You can see the sun now has slipped behind the stand. The entire ground now in shadow
No more.
as we move towards evening. Beard there with a pass. Amos feeding it on to James Davis, but it did just go forward. There was James Davis. After a lot of rave reviews, getting his Test opportunity in 2018, made his debut in the Six Nations match underneath the roof at the Principality Stadium against Italy. That was in March.
What's done?
Just a second Welsh handling error.
Let's go. Let's go. Discipline, yeah? Discipline. No, discipline.
It would be quite a win for Wales. It would
Hold the weight, hold the gap.
be just their 2nd ever series win. First one of this millennium.
Bind.
The last one came back in 1999. They came here in 2006 and lost both those Test matches.
Bring the ball.
They have to pick up Romotego Desio.
Backwards.
Leaving it behind. That's Nicolas Sanchez. Here goes Matera. In one direction he knows, and that's forward. Sanchez feeding the ball on there to Orlando. Oh, and it's all very untidy.
Forward.
Daniel Hurkada looking very uncomfortable. He is, that's the back of his head we're
Is it
looking
a
at there in the
particular side or
foreground.
Okay. Okay. The last one.
Second last one. Our ball.
Oh yeah, you took it out as you went forward, yeah. Good enough? Let's go. Hold on.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go, Wales, let's go. After two.
Go.
Hurry. Let's go.
Both of you. Right. It's my message. Yeah, stay there, both of you.
Let's go. Segunda.
Height. There we go. Gap. Concentrate. Gap.
Right, concentrate and
Crouch.
gap. That the advice from Jakub
Bind.
Paper.
Sit.
control being shown there by Wales.
Play it, ball out. Play it,
Well,
balls out.
Landako wins the scrap there.
Wales,
Onto
you walked around the
the
corner. It's not
Pumas try
Argentina.
scorer, Delgi. There's Landako. Onto Petty. Looking to try and give this Argentina team some sort of momentum. They really do need to make something happen. That was De La Fuente. They carry that time from Tetes Chaparro. There's Sanchez feeding it on. Onto Matera. Matera, who had a spell with the Leicester Tigers in the East Midlands of England. Delgi, no ground to work with, but mindful of just where the touchline is. That was Lavanini. Now this defensive line, there really doesn't seem to be any sort of appreciable gap between those red jerseys. Applying pressure here on the Argentinians. That's De La Fuente, but the ball has gone forward in the middle of that.
I didn't touch it. Just
Off
their
of
foot.
Puma's hand.
No.
Martin Landako just questioning Jaco Pepa.
2, 5, and 6.
Just into the knock on there.
Who's captain? You.
So alterations being made. Off comes the captain, Agustin Crevi, so too Pablo Matera and Thomas Lavanini. So 3 of the big guns are being withdrawn. Now that's quite a statement from Daniel Hurcada.
Okay. You guys actually stepped around the corner. They stayed square, so don't milk a penalty. Okay, clear?
So Julian
You come
Montoya
through the loose head side, and
is
they actually
on.
stayed square, so don't milk
He
it.
replaces the captain, Matias Alemano,
Right, all in.
is also in there.
It's all right.
Thomas
Just not on
Lozana,
board for that.
he's into the back row replacing Matera.
Crouch. Bind.
22 points
Sit.
to 5.
Yeah, there's too much movement. There's too much movement. He can't put the ball in. Yeah, I'm not going to guess. He's got to have a reasonable time. I can't wait too long, but you understand? Oh, he's got a reasonable time, not immediately. Put the ball up. Bit of movement. Right. Let's get that gap back again. It's a little bit too small. Crouch. Balance. Balance.
There's Ellis Jenkins.
Crouch.
Jenkins,
Bind.
who a few years
Sit.
ago now, going back to 2013, and this is the weekend when the World Rugby Under-20 title will be decided. That's happening down in the south of France.
Play
Well,
advantage.
the last time France hosted that championship, Wales got through the final where they were beaten by England. Ellis Jenkins was the Wales captain. There's Patchell. Well, that was a loose pass being thrown there by Scott Williams. The referee was playing a penalty advantage, though, to Wales. George North just giving his
Okay, just a
teammate
moment.
a
Let's
bit
see
of a
what they're going to
stare.
decide here. Then we'll let them come.
George North, who's moving back to plays club rugby in Wales next season. Moving on to Swansea
1
with the
and
Ospreys.
9. Yeah. Okay.
So Wales just looking to turn the screw.
Informan médicos, cambios.
More
en los
alterations being made by Argentina. These come in the front row. Javier Diaz is on. Looks like the change coming in scrum half as well. So Gonzalo Bertrano will be replacing Martin Landako. Meanwhile, Rhys Patchell staring into the sights. Those two vertical poles in his crosshairs. And that's gun barrel straight. Wales up to 25. It is looking oh so easy for the men in red. It's almost beyond their wildest dreams. Warren Gatland coming here, experimenting on this tour. Some experienced and big names left at home. Well, they put Argentina to the sword last week, and they've actually stepped it up this time. There's Patchell. There's been an assured presence at fly half. Sanchez. They can see confirmation the alteration made at scrum half by the Pumas. Patchell just mistiming his jump there. Davis getting caught. There goes Moriarty. Ross Moriarty, son of Richard Moriarty, you might remember him. Patchell with the clearance. There goes Mojano. There's Vetrano. And there to Petty. That was Alemano with the carry. There goes Sanchez. Looking for the supporting runner. Carry that time from Lozana. That's Julian Montoya. Montoya earning his 43rd cap today. He's only ever had 4 starts for Argentina though. This is a little bit better. The carry there from Ortego Desio. Vetrano out to Sanchez. They're certainly playing a little bit more vim and vigour now, the Argentinians. Taken almost 54 minutes for it to happen. That's Diaz. That Wales defence though, continually talking to one another. That was Crema. Crema's been kept very quiet today. Vetrano. De La Fuente trying to thread the ball through, but not getting anywhere. There goes Sanchez, being held up by George North. There goes Julian Montoya. 2 of those starts he had were at the World Cup in England.
Touched.
Here's Williams. On to George North. Callum Amos with a kick. Didn't quite work out for the Dragon.
Face, face, face!
More alterations coming from Daniel Hurcada. Sebastian Cancelliere coming on. There's Guido Petty, 35th cap for Argentina today. Here goes Josh Adams, scorer of one of the tries today. Alan Davis, Rob Evans. Little inside ball to Jenkins. Patchell. Williams. Amos, good hand, so too from Moriarty. North, inside ball to Amos. That was quite brilliant. Finished off by one of the best players and most, or greatest successes really on this tour, Callum Amos. But there was not a better touch in that try than that from Ross Moriarty. Patchell there. Here's the pass from Moriarty onto George North, who knew he couldn't get through himself, but he sensed that Amos was there.
3 and 9.
And then came the little pass. Look at this from Moriarty.
3 and 9.
The number 8, George North, showing his vision, and Amos in. That was special. Very, very special indeed.
Okay.
Well, Hannah Amos scored the first Wales try, got things rolling up in Washington against South Africa. And there is plenty of clear blue water now between Wales and Argentina. Well, a second miss from Rhys Patchell. I suspect that when we come to top things up at the end of the evening, that won't be terribly significant. Amos involved in that twice. His second try on the tour. Catch from James Davis. There goes Buffelli. Well, look at the figures getting up. James Davis. A little bit of frustration being shown there by Argentina. That was Matias Alemano. Rhys Patchell has been replaced. Gareth Anscombe has come on. Scott Williams has picked up a knock, as indeed has Ross Moriarty.
Yeah, that's a yeah. You can take it there. Go away from there.
Still a quarter of the match to go, and look at the scoreline. Wales leading by 30 points to 5. It's becoming a rout. Well, they call the place the Elephant's Graveyard because of what the Estadio Brigadier Lopez has done in the past to visiting teams. Oh, it's a rather funereal atmosphere here, with the team being buried, wearing the sky blue and white hoops. There's Ryan Elias there with the ball in his hand.
Break away, he's broken away.
There it is for Rob Evans. Others looking to get into the act here. There goes Watkin. Power and pace, not a tall man, but such a good carrier, as is Moriarty. Wales have made the change at scrum half as well, with Thomas Williams, the young Cardiff Blue, earning his second cap. That's Anscombe being held up by Kremer.
Maul first! Maul!
There's Williams. On to Ryan Elias. The two Scarlets there, Rob Evans the other.
Lost his feet.
And Scott Williams. This is better defence from the Argentinians.
You're not on, thank you.
Powerful surge there from Moriarty. Oh, and he's through. That's the captain. Almost got there. Just a little bit of a touch on his boot. Danger not gone though. Here's Rob Evans. James Davis. On to Ellis Jenkins, the two open side specialists combining. Well, the referee
6 red, going beyond the tackle. Thank you.
blowing the whistle.
6 red.
But it's Ellis Jenkins who has been penalised.
Here we go. Okay. Blood. We did.
Is the look of resignation in one box. Warren Gatland not giving too much away. Warren Gatland is trying to suppress a smile. He's doing rather a good job of it, but
what we've got is you.
there's so much to be happy with here.
We've already looked.
Ellis Jenkins just getting some treatment again.
Take them out. Okay. 2 and 4. Assault. Assault. Number 2 and 4. 2 and 4.
So some changes being made. Is it Ryan Elias going off? So too Adam Beard. So Elliot D will come on. So too Bradley Davis. And there's Bradley Davis, the veteran, former Wasp. Now playing back in Wales with the Ospreys. There's Alamano. There's Bertrand. Called there by George North. He's doing a bit of sparring with his opposite number. Williams. Here's Elliot D. who started in the first test match last week in San Juan. Anscombe, who once kept Bowden Barrett out of a New Zealand side. It was the under-20s, going back a few seasons now. Well, one knock on from Wales and then one from Argentina, so it will be an Argentina put-in.
Informa Deloitte, cambios en Gales. Se retiraron el número 2, Ryan Elias, el número 4, Adam Bird. Ingresaron el 16.
You can see confirmation of that change being made in the second row by Warren Gatland, so that knock-on from Josh Adams.
Here's my line. So, put in this.
Do it.
Righto. Let's keep that gap. Balance, control. Nice and square. Righto, nice and square. Keep the weight. Crouch. Bind. No. Come on, we've got new front rows here. The gap's been good, so we've got new props. We've got to fix the gap. Right, can you keep them back? You keep them back.
Glass on. Afuera. Open. Go back. Seconds. Go out.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
So Gonzalo Bertrand earning his 11th cap with the put-in. He's dropping down to the bench. The only alteration that was made at the start of the day. There's Bertrand again. There goes De La Fuente.
Leave it now.
17 minutes here for Argentina just to salvage something.
Tackle. Leave it.
Sanchez. And there goes De La Fuente. Bertrand. That was Alamano.
There's the ball. He's not over it. No hands, just feet.
If they're looking to salvage something, it's only going to be respectability. They do have one try, having come right on the stroke of half-time, scored by Bautista Delgui, the youngster. There's De La Fuente.
Leave it 6.
He worked hard, worked a full 80 minutes last week, doing the same again here.
Leave him.
Off goes
Not 10.
the young scrum half. Referees noticed that Wales didn't retreat 10 metres. And there is Bertrand.
Oh yeah.
Just a deliberate knock on there, really, from the scrum
Very
half.
close to 10.
Looking for that 10 metres
Just didn't
that
make
he
it
knew
back.
was coming.
It's not cynical.
Sanchez knocks it into the corner.
Oh no, this is not why I blown my pin. There was just no advantage for me.
– 15 minutes to go. Rob Evans, his tour comes to an end. He'll be replaced by Nicky Smith. There goes Nicky Smith, the Osprey coming on for the Scarlet.
Ingresa el número 17, Nicky Smith, informó Universidad del siglo XXI.
He's got it. He's the first man. There's the ball.
Well, Wales have turned it. That's
First
quite
man stolen.
magnificent. There's Williams. just looking for his fly half. Gareth Anscombe there, back in his own in-goal area. Williams decides to take it himself. He's quite a talent, is this fella. Well, a feature of last week was the breakdown battle, which was won by Wales. James Davis has been everywhere today. Sanchez feeding it on to De La Fuente. There's the carry from Crema. Crema, former lock forward, now being used in the back row. Alemano, oh dear, and that was picked up by the captain. Well, the more and more frustrated Argentina become, the more errors they make, but they've got another bite at the cherry here. Vetrano. That was Petty.
Out 7! No hands!
Head down there from Thomas Lozana. Vetrano. That was Javier Diaz. You have to say that Argentina really have offered very, very little. As Ortega Desio. Alemano there was a bit of a crunch there of bone on bone. Sanchez feeding the ball out to Cancelliere. There goes Crema. Being held up by Corey Hill.
That's it.
There goes Crema again up to the 22. Sanchez feeding it on. That's De La Fuente. Now there's an opportunity. Oh, and Delgi just snatched at it. Yes, he knows he's made a mistake. Look at that. 14 handling errors so far tonight for Argentina. And against 4 for Wales.
Is that just the contact? Off the down, yeah? If you charge out of line, make sure you're wrapped. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
The numbers don't look particularly pleasant for followers of Pumas rugby. They've won just 3 of the last 21 test matches. Won just 2 last year, beating Italy. That was on the November tour. And Georgia, that was at the end of the June period of test matches after they'd lost the back-to-back tests against England. They were over here while the British and Irish Lions were in New Zealand.
Informa SMS, cambio en los Pumas. Se retira el número 12, Jerónimo de la Fuente. Ingresa el número 22, Santiago González Iglesias. Informó SMS.
Pumas looking for a bit of inspiration from somewhere.
Crouch.
Just one try to show from their efforts from the opening 68 minutes in Santa Fe. Alteration has been made there in the midfield with Geronimo De La Fuente being replaced by Santiago Gonzalez Iglesias, who played the second half at fly half last week. Here goes Delgi, got a fair turn of foot as the wing.
Unless you've got something else nice to look
again,
like right
successfully
on the ball.
slowing down the ball. There goes Crema.
Yep, let me play.
Vetrano. And it's Diaz.
No hand!
Crema just getting the
Release.
ball at a standstill. Sanchez. That was Lozana. Sanchez. On to Cancelliere. There goes Lozana. Offload there to Crema. Look at this Wales defence, and there you could see Ellis Jenkins was first up to the tackle. Delgi just working their way inside Wales territory. There's Montoya. His most recent test start, Montoya was in the 3rd and 4th place playoff in the World Cup. That was against South Africa, the Olympic Stadium in London. Oh, good step there from Sanchez. Here's Kremer. Been asked to do the same again, being held up by Bradley Davis.
Held up.
Well, so far it's a full 70-minute effort from the men in red.
7. And 15.
Tackle there from Watkin. Moriarty.
Mullen.
Well, we've seen all the muscularity from Moriarty. We saw the touch almost of a surgeon to set up that try, the pass on to George North. And here goes Hallam Amos and James Davis. Two of the real successes of the tour, those two. Hallam Amos, the fullback, the Dragon. Still just 23, Hallam Amos. It seems as if he's been around for years. Very talented young man is the Dragons fullback. Actually training to be a doctor away from the rugby field.
Crouch. Bind. Red forward. Great closing the gap. They were 10. Leave it now.
Sanchez. Well grabbed in his bootlaces by Gonzalez Iglesias. Inside the last 10 minutes of the match. That's Montoya. Vetrano. Sanchez. Good hands there from Alemano, but then it wouldn't last, would it? Simply hasn't done over the course of the 2 test matches.
Release and picked.
Argentina really struggling to string together any sort of significant phases without making an error. There's Bradley Davis, the old warhorse, tackled from Montoya. Williams, Anscombe. Chip over the top from Scott Williams. Set up nicely there for Sanchez. Here goes Buffelli. Into Delgi, change of direction. The 14 and the 15 for Argentina, Bautista Delgi and Emiliano Buffelli. Couple of real sprinters. Sanchez, floating the pass out, Gonzalez Iglesias. Man who's enjoying his 30th birthday today. Not going to be a result to remember. Perhaps you don't remember your 30th birthdays terribly fondly either. Oh dear, the fumble and the knock forward from Santiago Medrano. Anscombe onto the left foot. Once again, Wales making Argentina pay for their errors. Bit of space there for Thomas Lozana.
Leave it.
Takes the ball within a few blades of grass of that 22. Now they get the penalty.
That's the same as yours.
So Wales poised to record just their 5th ever Test victory in Argentina. Before last weekend, all the previous 3 had been in Buenos Aires.
Just get the ball off.
Impressive victory in San Juan last Saturday. 23-10 it finished there. It's even more emphatic here. 30 points to 5 with just 6 minutes or so to go. Delgi coming off his wing. Done very well in Super Rugby this year is Bautista Delgi, one of the leading try scorers. Penalty to Argentina.
Too late again.
That's
16 no hand.
Well, you have to
Gotta
say,
beat
on
the
the
rock.
evidence of 3 weekends of rugby, Wales have been the
Too late.
Six Nations stars, if you like.
Whoa. Then you can't take it quickly, have that.
England losing their test series against South Africa. 2 down with just 1 test to go.
There are 10 players giving me advice, so you've got to stop that first.
Can I have a word?
Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is, once there's a clean out in, you're beaten. You can't go back for a second bite. You're slowing down the ball. Next one's
Have
win.
we got time to
Yeah, you go. Yeah, if you knock the ball deliberately, I can't let you play quickly. That's the law. No, hold. Warning.
So a bit of a
Time out.
warning there to Corey Hill.
No, time out. He's talking. You happy to play?
He's just going through the Six Nations sides. Well, France 2 tests to 0 down in New Zealand. England the same in South Africa. Ireland squaring things up today in Australia.
Got to beat the rock. Got to be the first one. Then there's a clean out.
Not just a series win in Argentina for Wales, but an emphatic one. They were expecting some sort of kickback today with Wales after last week's very poor performance from Argentina, but this has been worse. Ricardo, well, he's got much to ponder ahead of the Rugby Championship. The World Cup just a year away. Vetrano, Sanchez feeds it on. They're 8 metres out of Argentina. That was Medrano, the replacement tight head. There's Montoya getting his hands on the ball. Sanchez. That was Gonzalez Iglesias.
Come on.
Petty. Vetrano. Montoya. Well, Petty with the mistime run. He really was ahead of the ball carrier. That's why Vetrano, if anything, had to just pop it up behind him. It has been a late afternoon and evening of utter frustration for Argentina. There you can see the alterations that Daniel Ricardo has made for the second straight weekend. He sent his team back onto the pitch 3 or 4 minutes before the second half was due to restart. They had little impact last week, had absolutely none today.
Come on. Crouch. Bond. Sit.
Last 3 minutes of the match. The last 3 minutes of a highly successful June tour for Wales.
Advantage. Oh, thanks, bro. Sorry.
Well, the Argentinian frustration just starting to spill
That's
over.
Great going forward.
It really is very difficult to see where Daniel Ricardo goes from here. His pool of players is that coached by Mario Ledesma with the Jaguares. Jaguares have been going so well in Super Rugby. 6 straight wins after a fairly ordinary start to their Super Rugby campaign. But they've been picking up some big teams away from home as well. But that cohesion that they will have developed through a Super Rugby season has not clicked when you get the step up in class from Super Rugby level to Test match level. Oh, Argentina just turning that.
Play on. Last.
There goes Alemano. Matías Alemano, 43rd cap today. That was Medrano.
16 off.
Sanchez is feeding the ball on there to Gonzalez Iglesias. Here goes Matias Orlando. Orlando, who's been a regular starter in the midfield for Argentina since 2016, so one of those players who has developed since returning from the World Cup. Sanchez, and all he could do was find Thomas Williams. Anscombe. Last minute of the match. Moriarty. He's had a big game today. Anscombe. Watkin. He's building quite seamlessly following the departure of Hadley Parks after that finger injury. Anscombe. George North just coming down the inside. It's on to Bradley Davis, just looking to shovel it on. Williams. This is Tom Pridey. Good to see Tom Pridey back in a Wales jersey. Young man with so much talent who's had the horrible injuries. Had a spell at the Dragons and now with the Scarlets. There's Anscombe. Going there to Scott Williams. Good touch from the captain. Watkin realising they're drifting across field. The ball goes into touch, the clock goes into the red numbers. And the referee pauses for a moment. The crowd will wait maybe the final whistle. But Jakub Paper says the ball had gone into touch before the clock had turned to red. So we will have one more final phase. Prolonging the agony for the Pumas, who have been put to the sword.
Leave it 18! Let it go! Let it go!
Now, what will Argentina do here? Will they try and finish off with some sort of flourish? Just one score to show for their efforts over the course of 80 minutes and a little bit more. Bautista Delgui getting his maiden test try right on the stroke of half-time. Well, what a tour it has been for Warren Gatland's team. It started in Washington and they beat a second-string Springbok side, which I guess that performance made to look even better by the fact now that South Africa are 2-0 up on England. Well, a penalty to Wales, so it will go on and maybe Wales can add to the scoring. Gareth Anscombe just dashing in there. So a week after the win against the Springboks in Washington, they moved down to San Juan.
On the play on the ground.
They were expecting a more thorough examination from the Pumas last week. It didn't really materialise. Wales thoroughly in control, beating the Pumas by 23 points to 10. Well, they were looking or expecting, anticipating a backlash today, but it just hasn't happened. Lack of precision there from Wales. A rare thing this evening. A rare event over the course of 3 test matches. And they're just looking here to squeeze the life out of Argentina. Montoya it was there with the carry. That's Gonzalez Iglesias. Here's Sanchez. Pass looped out there to Ortega Desio. Elliot D was locked over it. There goes Marcus Kremer. Gonzalez Iglesias on here to Guido Petty. Well, a somewhat unseemly end to the match. And somehow a physio got himself in the middle of that. Josh Adams just being calmed down.
Okay, just go back. We're going to check that. Okay, Morris.
So Manius Jonker, television match official, being consulted by Jakub Paper.
Could you just step away, please? Could you just go back to the left? Thanks. What have you seen?
I've got 8 words. Yep. He's got the blue player, blue 10, in a headlock. Yep. Called him 3 times to get off him.
Okay.
And stayed around the net. And I don't know what's happened after that one.
All right.
Well, one or two problems here for Ross Moriarty. Andrew Brayton is on the right, the man who took charge of the first test.
Not sure after that, but 8 red.
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking yellow card.
Yellow. Okay.
So it's going to be a yellow card for Ross Moriarty.
Put it on the screen for us, please.
We shall beat the
we've got 8 red.
rest of his teammates off the pitch by a matter of seconds.
Grabbing around the neck and not releasing. Yes. Yeah, and then we've got to see if there's anything fouled after that.
So you're looking for Ross Moriarty here. There's Moriarty grabbing hold of Nicolas Sanchez. That will be a yellow card to Moriarty.
Yeah, it's called. Just give me a gap, please.
Marcus Kremer it was who came in to save the little guy. Nicolas Sanchez, his own fly half.
Yeah, I think it's
just about everything else I think we can discount. But it will be a yellow card to Moriarty. Rather low rent end to what has been a stunning performance from the Wales number 8.
Happy with the golf then. Yeah. You can get 8 so long.
You can get 8 so long. Good old South African expression that one.
Yeah. Okay, Marius, I think we can make a decision. Just stay here,
We can
please.
make a decision. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi.
Yaku,
Yes, Marius.
Yaku, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, those are the angles. You are on. You can go ahead.
Okay, 8 red is clearly going deliberately around the neck, and he's in a chokehold and he's not releasing, even though the assistant referee is trying to call him off 3 times, he's not releasing. For me, that is very dangerous and deliberate.
Well, bigger problems than the yellow.
Definitely very dangerous. I
He's
agree.
not releasing him, he's finishing him
I
off.
agree.
Thank you. So that for me is a red card. Anything after that you feel worth sanctioning?
Well, it's a very sad end to the match. Ross Moriarty, who has been quite superb for 81.5 minutes,
but does not finish the play off.
Okay, but we stick with the red penalty.
is going to be sent from the field.
Look, this is very serious. It's deliberate. It's around the neck. He chokes him.
But what about the punch before?
It's not your turn now. You've had your turn. The assistant referee tries to call him off 3 times. He chokes him, it chokes him. That's ultimate sanction. That's red. Yes, that is red.
Anything to start
Red card. Thank you.
So, despite the pleas of Corey Hill, the Wales captain, Ross Moriarty,
Okay, number 7 blue. I'm going to talk to number 7
having
blue.
cooled down, I think, has acknowledged his error. Well, it's 2 or 3 minutes to forget here for Wales. A disappointing
That is not
end
your fight.
to a stunning
It's not your fight. You can't run in and do that.
three-test
So I have to
due.
turn the penalty around. It's not his fight. Okay. No, we'll stick with it. Serious offence. Right. We'll stick with the red card. It's over here. Thank you. Where was this? Over here.
Well, there will be an Argentina penalty here.
Sorry, I misheard him.
So Sanchez drives play down into the Wales 22, and this match continues to run. And it's probably 7 or 8 minutes ago that the clock went into the red numbers for the first time. A lot of passion out there. Has been used to great effect by Argentina over the course of 83 minutes. Will they just get a little something right at the end of it? Sanchez feeds it on. Oh, Belgium has been so good when he's had the ball in hand. 1 try already. The clock moving on towards 84 minutes. The arm is out again. Sanchez, a little poke over the top. Delgy's going after it. But it was well caught by Tom Pridey. But it is another penalty to Argentina. And they are just playing for some respectability. That's just about it. They've been very, very poor over the course of 2 test matches of Argentina. Just trying to salvage a little something here. There's Julian Montoya. There's Montoya. Has the ball tucked underneath his arm. Veterano. A little inside ball was meant for Delgy. It's grabbed by Montoya. He's crossed for the try. It has been awarded by the referee. So Julian Montoya, the perennial replacement. Salvages just a little bit of something. Respectability. It's not really consolation. It was all a bit untidy. Here's the pass. And in the end, it proved to be something of a gift for the replacement hooker. So Sanchez, well, that's a crisp connection. But it's a series victory, and what a series victory it's been here for Wales. Moriarty there and Sanchez, they're reconciled right in the end. You may have just caught there the apology from the Wales number 8. But it is a second series win in Argentina for Warren Gatland's team. The last one back in 1999. They lost both test matches here in 2006. But Wales really, well, not quite beyond their wildest dreams, but certainly, I would say, a tour that earns 10 out of 10. Argentina now have so much ground to make up. They've got a rugby championship ahead of them, just a year to the World Cup. But for Warren Gatland, everything would appear to be falling into place.